Let's take another example that combines a fraction and a linear function. Now given f of x, which is equal x squared minus 2 all over x plus 1, and our g of x to be equal to x plus 1. Evaluate g of f of g, f of g of 2, and finally g of f of minus 2. Now let's start from the first one, which is g of f, which is equal g of f of x, meaning we substitute f of x in g, and our g is 2x. So anywhere we see x in g of x, we'll replace it with f of x. So we have 2. Now instead of having x, we are going to have s squared minus 2 all over x plus 1 plus 1. Now if we distribute 2, we are going to have 2x squared minus 4, that is 2 multiply minus 2, which is minus 4 all over x plus 1 all plus 1. Remember, this is exactly the same thing as 1 all over 1. Now there is a common denominator here, and how do we solve that? We multiply through with a common denominator, so that we have the common denominator is x plus 1. So x plus 1 multiply the numerator, which is 2x squared minus 4 all over x plus 1 plus x plus 1, which is the common denominator, multiply 1 all over 1, and this can cancel out. We are finally going to have x squared minus 4 plus x plus 1 multiply 1, the same x plus 1 all over x plus 1, which is the common denominator. And finally, if we collect like terms, we are going to have 2x squared plus x. Now minus 4 plus 1 will give us minus 3 all over x plus 1. We cannot, there's no common factor here, so we can simplify further. This is the final answer. Let's solve for f of g. So our f of g, which is the second one, f of g is equal f of g of x. And our f of x is x squared minus 2 all over x plus 1. Anywhere we see x in f of x, we'll replace it with g of x. That is what it simply means. So we are going to have g of x squared, that's g of x squared, g of x squared minus 2 all over g of x plus 1. Now, if we substitute g of x in f, we're going to have 2x plus 1 all squared minus 2 all over 2x plus 1 plus 1. And if we expand this just like we have in a plus b squared, if we apply that expansion, which gives us a square plus 2ab plus b squared, where a represents 2x and 1 represents b. Now we are going to have 2x squared plus 2 multiply 2x multiply 1. That is this expansion minus 2 all over 2x plus 1 will give us plus 2. Now, if we break that down, we are going to have 2x squared will give us 4x squared plus 2x multiply 2 will give multiply 1 will give us 4x plus 4x remember here there is plus 1 square plus 1 square, so we are going to have 4x plus 1 minus 2 all over 2x plus 2, and this will give us 4x squared plus 4x. 1 minus 2 will give us minus 1 all over 2x plus 2. The numerator cannot be simplified further because there is no common factor there, so this can be left, but this one can still be simplified because there's a common factor here. So finally we can have 4x squared plus 4x minus 1 all over 2 in x plus 1. So either way, you can leave your final answer to be this or this. Both are correct. Now let's solve for f of g of 2. If we solve for f of g of 2, f of g of 2, meaning that we first solve for g of 2 first. Now in g of x, we'll replace 2 where we see x. So this will imply that g of 2 will give us 2 in 2 plus 1, which it's equal 2 times 2, 4 plus 1, which will give us 5. So it means that f of g of 5, that is what we'll be solving. Therefore, we are going to be having f of 5. That's what it means. So let's solve for f of 5. Meaning anywhere we see, we'll substitute 5 in f of x. So anywhere we see x in f of x, we'll replace it with 5. So our f of x is 5 square, which x square, which is 5 square minus 2 all over 5 plus 1. And this will give us 25 minus 2 all over 6. And this is the same. 25 minus 2 is 23 over 6. We can have our answer like this, or we can still break it down further, which is 6. 23 divided 6 will give us 3, remainder 5 all over 6, or we can have it in decimal, which is 3.8. This is the final answer. Now you can solve the final one, which is f of minus 2. Solve that. If you have any issue with solving that, let me know. Pause the video. When you come back, we can complete that. Now solving for f of g. Okay, is g of f of 2 of minus 2 is g of f of minus 2. So g of f of minus 2, remember you solve f of minus 2 first. All right, so this will imply that f of minus 2 will give us minus 2 square minus 2 all over minus 2 plus 1. And this will give us minus 2 square will give us 4 minus 2 all over minus 2 plus 1 will give us minus 1. And finally, we can have 4 minus 2 will give us 2 all over minus 1. And the final answer will be minus 2. Minus 1 divided 2 is minus 2. This is our final answer.